Have you ever wondered about God's will? What's God's will for my life? We're going to talk about that today. My name's Mike Henry, Mike Henry Sr. I'm with Follower of One. And today I want to talk a little bit about John 14, verse 13. John chapter 14, verse 13. Jesus is speaking and he says, "Whatever you ask in my name, that I will do." That's not the entire verse, but it's the part that I want to talk about today. Because Jesus isn't pulling any punches here. The only condition is in my name, and we don't understand that, I think. I'm not sure I understand it, but I want to investigate that with you. Because when we do God's will, when we abide in Him, we become the will of God. That's not my own idea. I actually got that from Oswald Chambers in My Utmost for His Highest. The will of God becomes what I do if I can abide in Jesus Christ. Let me say that again. If I can abide in Him, if I'm doing exactly what He wants, then I am the will of God. That's a challenging thought, but that's what I want to be. I want to be the will of God. I want to do the things that He wants. I experience great joy when I sense that my life is aligned with what God wants. I get to see Him work in my world. But if you're like me, I didn't like many of my jobs. And having to go to work again today was a drudge. I felt like I had to turn off my faith and so that I could just get into the mode that I needed to be in when I got to work. I mean, it's a little silly when you think about it, but that's exactly the way I looked at it. And it's a challenge because what happens is we go into our workplaces and we're on the defensive. We're concentrating on our environment and we live in that world instead of continuing to stay connected to Jesus and trying adapt and to deliver what it is God would have me do in that place. We can compare ourselves with other people and we can miss out on the opportunities that Jesus has for us in our own workplace because we concentrate too much on asking God for the stuff that we want, instead of trying to remember and discover and understand what Jesus would want in our workplace. Today, I want to challenge you. Ask Jesus what He would want in your workplace. Fall madly in love with Him and then do whatever you want, is what Erwin McManus said. And I like the idea. I want to know Jesus so well that my reflexes and my actions are the things that Jesus would have me do. Then I'm free to do whatever He calls me to do in situations where I'm happy and I enjoy my work, or in situations where I don't like the work that I'm doing. Today, let's concentrate on Jesus. Ask Him what He would have you do today, and then go do that. Because when you live bent towards Jesus, you become the will of God. I hope you can become the will of God in your workplace today. And don't forget, we do this thing. Follower of One is an online community, and we do this thing called a marketplace mission trip. I'm stumbling around a little bit because we took a few weeks off, and now we're back. And our next marketplace mission trip is coming up soon. Go to marketplacemissiontrip.com to learn more about how you can take a part in this event. It's a free event. You can take part in it, and it will help you align yourself with Jesus more in your daily workplace. Thanks very much for joining us, and thanks for listening to this podcast.